evening. The time is 19:03, 7:03. We're going to open the regular business meeting. Do I have a motion and a second?
I'll open it.
Judy, you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. And we'll open with a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Can you start us off?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's moment of silence will be in honor of former board member Robert Habick, who passed away recently. Bob was a member of the board in the 70s when HPE was built, into the 80s, and then came back in the early 2000s and served a term. Thank you.
Okay, we're looking for approval of this evening's agenda. May I have a motion and a second? Kathy and Donnie, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that'll bring us to our public budget hearing. Item A, open the public budget hearing. Do I have a motion and a second? Kathy and Judy. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Item B is our proposed budget presentation.
I'll take it from here. So this will be pretty brief because it's exactly the same budget I presented a week and a half ago. There has been no word from the state yet. So all the numbers that we went for state aid, foundation aid, and all the other aid is based on the initial runs. The buzz is, it will at least be what we're getting, if not a little bit more, so we'll react to that. As you can see in small print up there, our final budget is $103,950,000. State aid comprises of approximately $69 million, and the tax levy is $29 million, which is another zero. So historically, as you can see here highlighted in yellow, this is our 5th year, and crunch some numbers, and we are only among approximately 10 school districts out of 700 that have been able to put 5 consecutive zeros together in a row. And the message is that most likely we will start a slight increase in local tax revenue, not because I feel like I want to, but we have to start getting back into that habit because we have to prepare for some tough times that are coming ahead and a lot of unpredictability with what's going on in the state. They use a new calculation for foundation aid, and we really don't even know how the result of that yet because this year they haven't really used this new method. It's the following year that it could help us, it could hurt us. We could do the same, I don't know. So, but if there's a 10-year historical, it's interesting because the inflationary rate is somewhere around 5% over the last few years, and we've been putting out zeros, which is great. So, okay, so Dr. Dudley brings up a great point, and this is the point where I should bring it up. We have a zero, but how does this budget go up $7.5 million? And that is because we borrowed for these projects. We are tonight, we're actually, this next coming vote is our 5th phase. We're in the process of 4 phases. We use some fund balance and capital reserve to finance some of this, but we actually borrow. And in recent borrowing in the last 2 years, what happens is, just like a mortgage, we have principal and interest payments. So we have approximately $8.6 million in principal and interest payments, which is going up. The great part about it is we get the exact same amount back in state aid. So both rise at the same time, our revenues and our expenses, which causes a zero increase to us. It's no tax to the community. But that is the reason why it goes so much. We're taking on this debt, but we're getting it back in state aid, so in the form of building aid. So That's why it's so big. Everybody a year ago said, oh my gosh, we're getting close to 100 million. How could that possibly be? But look at the zero, don't look at the budget. Because the reality is, next year we're going to be we're going to be issuing more bonds, and it's going to go up more. It doesn't necessarily mean that the tax increase is going to be reflective of that. That would be reflective of other reasons. So, real quickly, I've gone through these before, but our budget highlights, the top portion of this are things we face every year. We obviously want to maintain our current programs. We want to go forward, not backwards. We have contractual obligations that we're tied to. We've settled all 3 major contracts. Some of them 3 more years, some of them 4 more years. We are obligated to pay those. Cost of inflation, the example that I use in my presentations is that you can think about if I have a line number for paper of $1,000 and I keep it $1,000 for next year, you're going to get less paper. That's the way inflation works. So you have to increase that. Don't just think about paper, but think about all the materials and supplies and other items in the district. That's how it works. Inflation causes a rise. You feel it in your house when you go grocery shopping. So, I talked about the debt service, the increase in debt service. That brings the budget up. Okay, we're out there borrowing. This is a good thing. It's the time for us to, because we're getting 90% back in building aid. Now is the time to do this. Transportation has increased significantly, along with the increase in special education. We're obligated to meet the needs of all our students and those with special needs. And our 2 presentations ago, I did dive into the look at what health insurance costs and our contributions to the retirement systems, both ERS and TRS. It's astronomical. The family plan here is approximately $35,000. That's a tremendous amount of money. Now, each unit gives a contribution to that, but it increases slightly compared to the increase in what it's cost the district. The district has to bear most of that increase. Some one-time items, I had a picture, and for some reason I took it off, but it was a picture of this IED speaker system, and the feedback from some of the schools is that when we go into a lockdown or an emergency drill practicing, some spots in there we can't hear. Cafeterias, gymnasiums, auditoriums. So what this system does is it actually visually shows that you're in a lockdown. So it will flash, and you won't have to hear it. You can see it, and it will indicate that's safe. And you can put other announcements on it as well. But it's got multiple purposes, and we're all about safety, and this will help. It'll be throughout the district, so in all those areas that I listed. Pike Street needs a new parking lot. We're going to purchase 2 new minivans and golf carts. We have a tremendous expense of out-of-district schools transporting them, say for instance, an hour away. We don't want to use bigger buses to transport 2 or 3 children. We want to use minivans. We would hope to do this, keep it away from we transport, do it ourselves. Our liaison transportation has guaranteed me that we'll have somebody to drive this. And in sporting events, coaches will actually be able to take a smaller team to an event or any other event, be it, and they'll be protected. Some question today was, am I going to be insured if I get an accident? You're going to be fully insured. There's no liability to you whatsoever. The district will come in. Golf carts. We've been renting golf carts for multiple reasons. Say graduation and homecoming. It's better to buy them than it is to rent them. The break-even point is about 2 or 3 years where you get a return on your investment. The high school gym wall mats are old and need to be replaced, along with the scoreboards and the score tables. And the high school wrestling mat, which the mat is outdated and it still says Red Raiders on it, which we know we have to get rid of. So, and we're going to be purchasing some other athletic and fitness equipment, and we will be moving the boardroom over to Pike Street. The old where IT is currently now, they're going to be moving into where Catholic Charities is, or was, because they have now moved. And we're going to, instead of having buildings and grounds and set this up and break it down once or twice a month, we'll be set up there and be available for conferences. We won't have to bring chairs down from guidance and if the question is, hey, business guy, we can't afford an extra chair. It's really because we don't have a place to store them. So those are some items that I've highlighted in the budget. Here's the history of when I started in February presenting to now. pretty much hasn't moved much. We're at 103,950. And at this point, I will turn it over to Dr. Bell.
Okay, so there are 4 things that the public will get to vote on. In addition to the budget, there will be the school board elections. There are 5 people running for 4 seats. The way it works is the top 3 vote getters get 3-year terms. Whoever takes 4th place gets a 1-year term. And whoever takes 5th place has something else. They have a free Tuesday night once a month. They won't have to come here and sit with us. But there are 5 people, 4 incumbents, which is Donnie Santiago, Joe Andriak, who's away on business in Europe, Kathy Sadigiani, Bill Harris, and a parent from HPE and the high school, Jeremy Shannon. So there's 5 people for 4 seats. The other items are the capital project and the purchase of Joyland. The project, last year the voters approved phase 4 capital project, which was work to be done at HPE, the roof, all the heating, ventilation, electrical upgrades, and putting air conditioning in at HPE. That was approved last year, and that work just started. They just started the roof, I think, last week. EME is the only school with air conditioning. HPE is now in the process. And now, if phase 5 passes, then the middle school, high school would have air conditioning in all their classrooms. So that would do all the classrooms in the whole district. Sorry to the juniors and seniors who will never be around to see it. But if you're younger than a junior, you have a chance to see an AC. But that was the goal, ultimately, a couple of years ago, was to come up with a long-term plan to put air conditioning in all the classrooms. Again, there has to be major electrical upgrades on this campus as well to handle that. And then some smaller miscellaneous projects. But that's phase 5. Now moving to the other item, and that's the purchase of the Joyland property. When you come down Hamilton Street Hill, you'll see a green building on your right. That is one of our maintenance buildings. Right behind that, there's a fence. And what we're looking to do is buy 11.5 acres right there behind that fence. It's actually town of Deer Park. And then there's a bridge in there. And then you go over the bridge and you buy another acre, which is in the city of Bordeaux. Those 12.5 acres would then connect the high school campus to the East Main Street campus. So we would have our two of our 3 campuses would now be connected. Actually, the road or the pathway would come right out at Gwinnett Field. And it's amazing how close this campus is to that campus when you go on a straight line instead of having to go through all the neighborhoods and through the red light on Kingston Avenue. And we want that property for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's nice to control what happens next door to your campus. You know, it's like your house, you worry about what happens to when the yard next door looks like, you know what. And you want to be able to control it. So it's always nice to be able to control what it looks like when people come down the hill. The second thing, it's great to grab space when you can, because you never know in 20 or 30 years from now what we're going to need. Whether it might be another elementary school, it might be more fields, whatever the case may be. And it's very hard to find land anywhere close to town. Basically, all the land around here in town, in the general vicinity, like within the city limits or just outside the city limit, has been gobbled up. So to be able to get 12.5 acres right here, between here and East Main Street, is really great. And then so again, it gives you direct access to both campuses, it controls what gets built there, and it gives you space for the future. And as a point of reference, $850,000 to buy that land. Clark Motors at the top of Hamilton Street is 1.7 acres, and it's for sale for $1 million. So I think when you do it on an acre basis, we're making out pretty good. Voting locations, if you have any questions, you can reach out to all of us listed on the screen. Voting locations are the same as they've been the last couple of years. You either vote at the high school or you vote at HPE. That hasn't changed. That's been that way since, I think, 2023 or so. The one difference is if you vote down here, instead of being in the auxiliary gym, the rubber gym, we're going to vote in the new library, which is right out in the front of the building here. There's a nice new library. It's much more attractive than going into the dark old auxiliary gym to vote. And it has easy direct access from the outside. So the public doesn't go into the building. They only go as far as the library. Polling is only from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m., not 9 p.m. It used to be 9 p.m. We shortened it to 8. We didn't have a lot of people come vote between 8 and 9, but we're paying all the people to work. And then the other final thing is that instead of using voting machines from the county, we're just doing paper ballots. It was getting harder and harder to get our election folks who work the machines to to get them certified by the county to be authorized to use the machines. So we decided, let's go back the way we did it during COVID, where there's just, you come in, fill in a paper ballot, fold it, and put it into the lockbox. And then we open up the box and count them all at 8 o'clock. That's the one big difference this year. Any questions from the board before we ask the public? My first year, we had 6 things to vote on. Last year, we had 5. This year, we got it down to 4. And we hope this will be the end of the real estate business, because we've had quite a few real estate transactions. Any questions from the public about the budgets or the referendums or the elections? Nothing? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
If there are no questions, that brings us to the close of the public budget hearing. May I have a motion and a second? Kathy, Judy, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. And now brings us to our presentations. First up, we have our Scholastic Art and Writing Gold Key Award, Gabrielle Polarski, and the high school art teacher, Liz Maloney.
Good evening. I'm Liz Maloney with the art department, and I'm here tonight to honor my student Ellie Polarski. Hello. Good evening. This is Ellie Polarski, and I'm Liz Maloney with the art department in the high school. And Ellie was awarded a very prestigious honor in January, and it's known as the Scholastic Art Award. And there are many thousands of students who apply in our region, which is parts of Sullivan, Ulster, and Orange County. And among those, Ellie won the highest of the levels in Scholastic, which is the Gold Key Award. And we are really thrilled and honored, by this award. Ellie persisted year after year and applied for the award, and this year, her senior year, she won it. So we are just thrilled, and Ellie, congratulations again. And just another thrilling note, Ellie has been given a very large scholarship to Syracuse University and has accepted their scholarship, full tuition, paid for 4 years. So that's another really exciting thing.
She looks like she wants to talk.
I'm very honored to receive this award. I tried for a couple years to, I submitted things to, just to try it out and see if I'd get anything. But I honestly did not expect to get the top prize for it, which was really cool. It's very nice, and I'm very honored to have received it. And it feels special because it's my senior year, and it's very honoring, and it's all the effort that went up to this, it just pays off. It's very nice. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Ellie. That brings us to presentation B, Odyssey of the Mind teams. We'll have Mr. Austin Wilson come up and do the introductions.
I actually didn't prepare anything tonight, but thank you guys for having the Odyssey of the Mind teams come tonight. This year, we grew the program a little bit, so we went from, I think, 3 teams last year, maybe 4, to 6, and 4 out of the 6 teams were invited to states this year, which is a huge accomplishment. We were the only district in all of New York State to have a primary team be represented in state, so that's a huge accomplishment as well. So tonight we have the middle school team. So do you want to have them come up? Yeah, okay, so middle school team, you guys can come on up. So that was coached by yeah, so we have Leah Lisberg, Lauren Galen, we have Victoria Palazzo, I'm sorry, Ben Ebeke, we have Sophia Murtovich, we have Neve Sue, and we have Levi Gritton. And then coached by Rose Garrity, Jen Berry, and Mr. Mystery. To just briefly explain what they had to do, because for anyone that doesn't know how to see the mind, it is quite a difficult task. You have a budget, you have a time constraint, and you have to be super, super creative. So
our team chose problem number 1, which is considered the vehicle problem. And so they had to complete, it was called the Amazing Race. And it was, they have basically had a 8-minute time period to put together a skit that incorporated all of these different pieces, being able to go over an obstacle, but they literally had to build a vehicle that that Ben actually drove through, raced through a course, going over some obstacles while also performing a skit. And they did an amazing job, and it was like a budget of $165, right? So they have to do all of these things, backdrops, the whole thing, and these are a creative bunch of kids that really put that $165, they stretched that budget, and I was super impressed with what they did, so thank you.
all right, so I just happen to know all their names because they're middle schoolers, and that's where I teach. We can then do Miss Amy Haberstock and her high school team. So Hav, you can come introduce your team.
I have Kiara Sue, Jocelyn Ferrer, Brady Nebeke, and missing in action, running track. I don't have anybody else here, right? I didn't miss. Okay. Running track tonight is Kaylee Wright, Olivia Baumgartner, Gideon Torres, and Aiden Burish, who I'm not sure where he is, but he is not running track. We have problem 3. We were classics. So the way classics works is that you get an excerpt this year from a bunch of stories to choose from. And while most teams took the easy way out and chose Alice in Wonderland or the excerpt from Peter Pan, my team did not. All right, we chose The Hobbit. There we go. We chose The Hobbit. Oh my God. And so they were able to pick one of 2 characters. Bilbo or the dragon, and my team, of course, chose both, because why, again, do the easy route. And so, the other one was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and our whole skit had to go around the dragon, Smaug's lair, and which is a cave, and so they chose their cave to be a lava cave. And, right, Willy Wonka would have worked. And all of their creatures, all of their animals and that were all candy bar-esque. All of their backdrop was cake and sweets. Smaug's treasure was candy and sweets. They had to create a dining table with all the place settings, which was all made out of sweets. So yes, the table was a s'more, the plates were peppermints, the forks were licorice, the bouquet of flowers were made to resemble cake pops. So everything was done out of sweets. They did a tremendous job with the creativity. One of the style points is to come up with your own piece of style that you want to be graded on and how it incorporates, and they chose to use recycled materials. There is very little that they did not recycle and pull from somewhere else. Their background was made from previous backgrounds. They added onto it with recycled wood, pink foam core board, which was from something else. We took foam from drama that they were going to throw out. We used that. We used every kind of cardboard you could possibly imagine, wrappers and bottles and lids. All of that garbage that you throw out ended up in our skit and as our props, and lots of paint and glue sticks. And it is unbelievable what they were able to come up with and create. And their budget was $145, and I think we were well under that at like $120. And their style points for their creativity and use of trash to treasure was like a 9 out of 10, which is unheard of in style. So they've done an amazing job. They worked really great as a team who has not grown up together. They come in as 3 people, 2 people were on it last year, and we added in the other 5 this year, and they worked so well as a team and gelled, and I'm hoping they stick with it. So, congratulations, guys.
So the next team is my team, and it was coached by myself and Mrs. Elston, who is amazing. She's in the back. She never wants credit, so if everyone could just stay. No, I'm just kidding. My team, I was lucky enough to coach. I had some of them for 6 years, so we've really grown up together. I think they saw me grow this face of hair, and they saw me lose a lot of hair too in the process, but I'm really proud of them. It's really sad because I have a lot of seniors on the team, so they're going to be going off, maybe doing OM in college, I don't know. But we have Michelle Gametta, a junior. We have Katie Wurlitz, a senior. Francesca Molterno, a senior. We have Julia Elston, a senior. I have some kids that are also at track, so we have Yara Shihada, who's a junior, and Gabe Torres, a senior. And we also needed an extra person, so we begged Jocelyn to be on both teams. So Jocelyn also competed on our team. So Jocelyn. And so this team chose problem 5, which was it was just performance, right? So it wasn't classics. It didn't incorporate building that much, but they had to create a historical civilization that was team created that had to have 3 different constellations that one impacted a work of art or an aspect of culture. Oh, now I'm forgetting, we've had a break. What else? One that was team created, so it could do anything. And another one that...
Origin story.
Yes, that revealed the origin story of the team created civilization. So this team decided to go all science, and they created a civilization behind diner signs in the world. So what happens behind the diner sign? So they took elements from chemistry, they made them come to life. So they were different neon lights. So there was argon and neon and bismuth. It was really cool. So the team did really well. They worked really well. We went to states. We had a little conflict. We had our seniors that had the senior trip, and they had a great time on that. But that left us with only 3 people to compete against teams of 7. So the troops that stayed behind and competed, they had to redo their entire skit within a month. They made hand puppets, they made marionette puppets. They did a phenomenal job. I'm so proud of them. And teams have 8 minutes, they have a budget, but what no one said yet was that the coaches can't tell the kids what to do. So the kids have to come up with their entire solution by themselves. And it really forces them to think creatively, to collaborate. And Odyssey of the Mind is one of the most amazing programs. If you haven't heard of it or researched it, please go to odysseyofthemind.com or talk to any of these kids. I think they all love it as well, and it's really nice to see the program grow. So this is what it looks like at the secondary level. So thank you guys, you can go back to your seats. And because we have a secondary level, we don't have a really strong primary level. So this year, we have Audrey Niosi, who coached an amazing, phenomenal primary team.
Can I have
I guess when they said, do you want to come to the board meeting, I didn't think that I'd have to come here and talk, but we'll do it. So, I coached a primary team. This is actually my second year coaching a primary team. I've coached Division I for many years, and then I stopped for a few years when I had my kids. And then my son expressed interest in doing Odyssey of the Mind, so I thought, all right, let's dive into primary team. So I teach at East Main Elementary, and I teach 5th grade. So I'm very used to the upper elementary age group, so coaching a primary team of 1st and 2nd graders was definitely a change for me, but it was unbelievably fun and exciting and entertaining. So I'll introduce them to you, and then I'll tell you what our problem was. So this is Meyer Stellato, Natalie Addy, Jagger Hawks, Chase Sorensen, Anthony Ozzie, Sophia Stellato, and Mason Hudson. You guys can stay up there for a little bit, okay? I'm going to talk about it. So this is a team. Can everyone hear me okay? I'm pretty loud. This is a team of 1st and 2nd graders, like I said. A couple of them were on my team last year, but most of them are new to Odyssey of the Mind. Our time together was spent doing a primary problem, which in the primary division, you don't get to pick problems. So you heard them mention like problem 1, 3, 5. The primary team is just given one problem, and then you just do that one problem. Their problem, they had to create a time machine, and they had to portray a time traveler character. And the time traveler had to go to 3 different wonders of the world, ancient wonders of the world. 2 of those ancient wonders of the world, they could pick out of a list of like 7 to 8 wonders. So we did a lot of research on those wonders and what they were, because honestly, they had no idea what wonders of the world even were. So, and there are many lists of wonders of the world. I didn't know that, but there are. So ours was ancient wonders of the world. They chose to go to the statue of Zeus in Greece, the Great Pyramids of Giza, and then the third one, they had to create themselves something that in their modern time they consider to be like a wonder of the world, which they chose the national park system. So they had to build 3 different sets, props, pyramids, Zeus's statue, lightning bolts, national park pictures, and then they had to make all of their costumes. And Odyssey of the Mind is really everything the team does by themselves. The coaches don't really do anything. In the primary division, you can help them use like tools and things like that, but honestly they do all the work themselves. And this team did an amazing job creating their set, doing their problem, and performing it for the judges. They were very smooth, very calm, they did an excellent job. In addition to our problem though, I presented the team with the idea of possibly joining the Odyssey Angels, which the Odyssey of the Mind program puts out for any age division to do. And it's basically using your creative problem solving skills to help your community in some way. So I asked them about it. They were super excited about it. They're honestly very excited about anything I asked them to do. So they were on board, and we brainstormed ways that we can help the community. And they came up with lots of ideas. Some of them were very, very big. And I said, well, think about what could 7 1st and 2nd graders do to help our community. And they came up with making these little baggies that we could put out in the community, and anyone in the town that needs them could take them. They came up with the idea of calling them kindness kits. And so I thought that was amazing. And so I right away went to like social media, I put out a post, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for, chopsticks, lotions, what else is in the bottles of water, snacks, hats, gloves, anything that the community can need, anything that someone, goes into the library or the hospital or anywhere, doctor's office that could use them. If they're there, they could grab them and take them home for free. The community was amazing. I had donations coming in from everyone. It was just incredible. The kids counted everything out, sorted everything out, bagged everything. We looked at different quotes about kindness, and we just talked about it out as a whole group. They talked about it with their school, other kids in their school, and we made all these kits. We submitted all of our stuff to the Odyssey Angel program. And when we went to the Region 5 tournament, which is where our region competes, we were pleased and very excited to be called back on stage. Normally at the competitions, primary teams don't advance and they don't really get scores. They're really just there for the environment, the experience, and everything like that, and to build the program so that they want to do it when they're in middle school and high school. And they asked me if we would just, hang back for a minute because they wanted to acknowledge us. And I thought, oh, cool, they're just going to give us like a little shout out. And they actually called us on stage and they awarded all of them with the Renata Fusco Award, which is a very prestigious award in the Odyssey of the Mind world.
given out at every tournament. It's only given out if the judges really feel as if the team earned it. So when you're awarded that award, you're like, you're better in the first place. You really took home the best award you could get. So we were completely blown away that not only they gave it out, but they gave it to a primary team, which is unheard of. And then, so they were very excited about that. And then, shortly after we got back from that Region 5 tournament, I got an email from the director for the State of New York Odyssey of the Mind program, and she invited us to attend the state tournament, which primary teams do not advance ever because they don't compete. They're really just there for the region experience. So we were the only team in the entire state of New York invited to attend the state finals. So we went to the New York State finals at the fairgrounds with the other teams. We got to meet up with them, which was super cool. And we had a table at the sort of like their recreational area where we had our project on display. People were coming over, asking us questions about the project, talking to the kids. We got to do a lot of cool, fun stuff. And then to kick off the New York State finals, they awarded all of them with very special certificates from the state program, Odyssey Angel pins, and a certificate and a stuffy of the Odyssey of the Mind mascot. So they were all called on stage again for a second time and got some awesome awards from that as well. So I was hoping that we would get asked to go to the World Finals, because in Odyssey Angels, they do pick one team out of the whole world who does the program to go to the World Finals as guests. So I was kind of hoping I'd be, emailing Dr. Bell, so now we're going for, no, we're not. But they did send us a beautiful email, and they loved our project, and they are sending them in the mail special certificates and a different pin than they received at the state competition. So I'm very excited to get those and hand them out to them, and I couldn't be more proud of them. They did amazing, especially for a group of first and second graders, so thank you.
Why'd you go in the middle? Go in the middle. Why'd you go in the middle? And their toes up.
I know.
Kids, go give them a high five.
This year's in Michigan. So just to conclude, I think on behalf of the Odyssey of the Mind program, we just want to say thank you guys for supporting this program, allowing it to grow. To the community, thank you so much for all the donations. We can't do this unless we have supplies to do it, right? And having all these recyclables is really amazing. And it's just really cool to see so many kids get into it. I forgot to mention, we had 2 kids that received an OMER award at States, which is for overcoming obstacles and just being really great. So Michelle and Yara received that since they had to really redo their whole skit and put on a 7-person show with just 2 or 3 people, right? So it was a great turnout at States, and I'm, again, really excited to see where we go next year. So thank you.
Good job.
Austin, while you're here, on behalf of everybody, we just want to say thank you for the amazing multicultural night the other night, too. It was just a mob scene of people. It gets bigger every year, so awesome job.
Okay, that brings us to the public comment section of the evening. Do we have anybody signed up? Nobody signed up. Okay, that'll take us straight to reports. First one with Dr. John Bell, Superintendent of Schools.
It's okay to sneak out, I won't be offended. That's why we put you at the front of the meeting so you can. First of all, I just wanted to, some acknowledgements. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Tomorrow is Nurses Day. And last Thursday was National Principals Day. So just wanted to say thank you to all those people in those categories for everything they do for us. Our grades 3 through 8 testing is wrapping up. It ends this week with 5th grade science testing on Thursday. And that'll be the end of our 3-8 testing for ELA, math, and science. At the last meeting, on April 24th, we hired a series of new teachers for next year. We have all our new teachers hired except for 2. We're still out there interviewing for 1 ELL, and we are gonna have a science resignation later this week for the middle school. So we have to go out and find a middle school science teacher. So we only have 2 left to go, and then we'll be fully staffed for the fall. So we're really happy about that. Absentee ballots went in the mail today for those people who get them on a regular basis or have already made the request. The budget newsletter is also going in the mail. I think tomorrow the budget newsletter will go in the mail to all the residents. And the budget newsletter will also go up on our website. We put a yellow banner across the top of the homepage. You click on that banner and it'll take you to all the information about the budget, the board elections, and the 2 referendum. So that's all there. I also wanted to give out a reminder, no school on Friday, May 23rd. We still have 1 remaining unused snow day. We're going to use it on that Friday. And then finally, just ask everybody to please get out and vote on May 20th. I tell the cautionary tale to all the staff groups that one of our neighboring districts had their budget go down by 38 votes a couple of years ago. And they had to trim millions of dollars to put it back up for a second vote. So we don't want to ever get complacent just because it's been passing every year. We don't want to get complacent. We ask everybody, you gotta, once a year, we ask you to come out and vote on both the budget and the referenda and the school board election. We don't tell you how to vote, we just ask you to come and vote. So please, everybody, make sure you come out and vote on the 20th. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next is Dr. Natasha Walkowitz, Assistant Superintendent for Instruction.
Good evening. The Professional Learning Committee and Education Committee final sessions will be tomorrow, May 7th at 3:30 and 4:15 p.m. in the high school library. The Professional Learning Committee will review June and summer learning options for teachers, as well as the scope of learning for conference days and coaching days next year. Our Education Committee will discuss the new K-5 literacy, as well as Haggerty, which will be starting this fall, the Seal of Literacy and Seal of Civic Readiness, the Alternative Arts Graduation Assessment, Summer Professional Learning, the PD Plan, which is on the docket for adoption later this month, summer school updates, curriculum maps, and summer curriculum writing, and the New York State updates coming down from the state recently. Today, our World Language Department had their annual Seal of Biliteracy Showcase, where qualifying juniors and seniors presented a topic of discussion in 2 or more world languages. I just want to stress the 2 or more. It's the first time ever. We had 3 students test for 2 Seal of Biliteracies as well today. And representatives from Hudson Valley Arborn, which is the Regional Bilingual Education Resource Network, which is an arm from state education, and the New York State Education Department previewed our endorsement and showcase with our World Language Department. It's a big deal for them to come down and do that. We're anticipating 13 students graduating this year with the Seal of Biliteracy. We do have some students eligible already from last year that were juniors that were able to complete that, and we have some this year that are juniors also able to complete it this year. And we have additionally 21 seniors on track to complete and graduate with the Seal of Civic Readiness. So these are our endorsements are in addition to their high school diploma. So congratulations to those students. Just echoing Dr. Bell, the multicultural night, if you didn't get a chance to come, I walked in at literally like 6:03 thinking that I'd be one of the first ones there. It was packed. It was so amazing to see food from, I don't know how many different cultures were there. It was incredible. Arts and crafts, dancing from local communities. So I just want to thank Austin Wilson, who spearheaded that with all the faculty, administrators, families, and community members and partnerships who work together to grow this event every year. So thank you. Just one quick note, also EME will be hosting their Literacy Night on May 28th at 5:30. And just a shout out to our teachers for Teacher Appreciation Week, and to our school nurses for tomorrow, and to our principals last week. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is John Tim, Assistant Superintendent for Business.
I've spoken enough tonight.
I was wondering. Figured I'd do the intro. I appreciate it. Brings us to Tanya Duryea, the Assistant Superintendent for Pupil Personnel Services.
Good evening. Just a few items. On the evening of April 29th, we held our third transition meeting for our parents of preschoolers and students with disabilities. I must give a shout out to our incredible faculty and staff who volunteered, and even administration. Certainly, Mrs. Sadakahani attended, as well as Mr. Harris. Thank you to both of you for your great help. It is just a wonderful evening, and we're grateful every year. I must say, this is our third year. Our attendance increases with each year, so I'm glad we're getting the word out. Secondly, you'll see in front of you, you have these beautiful red shirts. These are for you to wear if you attend, even if you don't, the Special Olympics. That is on May 17th at Goshen Central School District. Thank you to, first and foremost, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to have our students participate. And this is only the second year that Port Jervis has participated in the Special Olympics. That has gone on for quite some time. Vicki Harris and Brittany Young really lead the way. Mrs. Nesnick embraces it and allows them to facilitate meetings, send communication out. It definitely, communication and collaboration is critical for all of this to come together. Our students, we had 9 last year, 7 or 9, I think 2 were sick, but we're up to 22 students participating on May 17th at 8 a.m. Transportation is provided. If you are available on Friday, May 16th, Mrs. Mesnick and her team are putting a pep rally on for our student athletes. This will be the second year. Nikki Hartman, the HBE PE teacher, has arranged for some of our high school student athletes to take a bus up. Last year there were the cheerleaders, different athletes, football, soccer, etc., that were just there showing pride and encouragement for our Special Olympians that are getting ready to participate the following day. Lastly, I just want to let everyone know, right now we have 82 parents who signed up for our UPK, Universal Pre-K Free 4-year-old program. We have 82 and 87 already signed up. This year, New York State said it has to be a random selection. We do participate with Head Start, full-day program, Project Discovery, full-day program, HBE, full-day program, and Candy Cane, half-day AM program. Again, 82 out of 87 spots are filled. We have, I believe, 1 spot left at Head Start and 4 left at Candy Cane. Notice will be going out to our families by Friday via email communication in terms of where your child has been randomly selected as per state ed guidelines. So look for that information to come. I want to say thank you to Mr. Murata and certainly Mrs. Wachowski for getting that word out. And lastly, we have to date 135 kindergartners fully registered for this September and 29 that we know are unregistered. So we're really proud of that as well. It means kids start school on time, and that is all.
I was just going over my notes. I have one more thing that I missed, and I apologize. But, last Friday, May 1st, were the Kuykendall Community Service Awards. Mr. Kuykendall was a longtime city councilman and then later on a school board member, and he created this award. Olivia Warden, 5th grade at EME, Bryn Santiago, 5th grade at HBE, Gemma DiGiantomaso, 8th grade at the middle school, and Megan Latour, a high school senior. They received a nice plaque, and Mr. Green also honored them with $1,000 from the Marion Cooper Community Foundation that they'll receive upon graduation. And so we thank the foundation, and we thank everybody involved in the building. Dr. Lazaro hosted it in the auditorium. It's just a really special event because you pick one kid from that highest grade in every building. And so one kid out of that 5th or 8th or 12th grade gets that award. And it's amazing to hear all the stuff that these kids have already done in their young lives, and hopefully they'll continue that as adults, because we need more people to be involved in our community. So they're just great role models for their fellow students. Congratulations to all 4 young ladies.
Brings us to consent agenda items. Item A, minutes, Board of Education meeting of April 24th, 2025. Item B, minutes, CSE, CPSE recommendations, memorandums of April 24th and May 6th, 2025. Item C, disposal of outdated, irreparable equipment. Item D, approval of the May 6, 2025 consent agenda items. May I have a motion and a second? Kathy, was that Nancy? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, personnel employment agenda items. Item A, termination of employment, employee number 4031. Item B, leave of absences. Item C, appointment probationary security attendant, Cynthia Sanchez Otero. Item D is an appointment, 2025 summer school support staff. Item E, appointment, probationary teacher aide, Melissa Rousa. Item F, appointment, substitute grounds worker, Philip Morose. Item G, appointment, substitute teachers for the 2024-2025 school year. Item H, appointment, student hygiene stipend for teacher aide, Angela Becker for the 2024-2025 school year. Item I, amendment to board docs, personnel agenda item from April 24th, 2025. Now that brings us to the approval of the May 6th, 2025 personnel employment items. May I have a motion and a second? Kathy? Donnie, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action items. Item A, the approval of Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion and a second to bring to the floor? Kathy? Donnie? Thank you. Any questions or discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item B, SECRA resolution and negative declaration, purchase of the Joyland property. May I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Bill? Kathy? Any questions or discussion?
I have a discussion. I just want it to be said and on the record, Kristen, that you would please make it put on the record. Although I'm going to approve the SECRA resolution, and no disrespect to Dr. Bell or the fellow members of this board, I want it to be known that I am not in favor of purchasing Joyland Junkyard. There are many reasons why I am not supporting this. One of them, the very biggest one, is the junkyard. I wouldn't allow my own children to play in a junkyard, and therefore I would not feel right about letting the children of this district play in a junkyard. The other thing that I feel is extremely concerning is the amount that we're paying for this junkyard. I feel that $850,000 is a lot for this piece of parcel, but it still goes back to my reason number one. I don't feel comfortable with letting my children play in a junkyard, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable with our children of this district playing in a junkyard. And that is my personal opinion, and I just don't support it.
Very well, duly noted. Any other questions or discussion on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed?
And just so the public knows, it hasn't been a junkyard in several decades, and a phase one environmental study was conducted before the current owners bought the land, and did make sure they knew what they were buying. And then subsequently to that, so once the land has been cleared environmentally, we've also had several feet of topsoil actually added to it to make it a better surface. So if we ever want to use it for a playing field or anything like that, just so point of reference.
Okay, in favor 6-1, motion carried. Brings us to C, resolution to approve additional inspectors for the May 20th, 2025 budget vote and board election. May I have a motion in a second? Nancy and Kathy, thank you. Any questions or discussion on this item? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Brings us to board member items. Board committee reports. First up would be Building and Grounds Committee. Do we have anything for that? No, we do not. Thank you. Kathy, DLT Committee.
We met in joint session with all of the VEPs on Tuesday, April 29th at Pike Street virtually. We did our annual review of the code of conduct. Most of the VEPs had small issues for discussion. Mr. Lazaro and the high school though came through with 9 pages of concerns, which we reviewed, and I think we got it down to 3 pages of actual changes. We are also still waiting for suggested wording from our attorneys on a couple issues that we had problems with. Most of the changes are going to be capitalization, pluralization in a couple places, removal of hyphens, inserting commas, changing he, she to they or their, so that there's consistency amongst the district documents, because we've done that in the code policies. I believe Kristen has made a copy of the minutes available for all of you, so you can see the changes that will be presented at the meeting in late May or June when we hold a public hearing on the readoption of the code. At Tuesday's meeting, we also approved any of the requested expenditures that had come in from the VEPs and reminded them all to request their allotment or they would be lost for this at the end of the school year. We will meet again if necessary prior to the end of the year.
Thank you. We do not have our Deer Park liaison tonight. Port Jervis liaison, Nancy, no? Nothing to report. Thank you. Anything from Education Committee? Is there an actual? Tomorrow is the meeting. Thank you. Health and Wellness? Nothing at this time. We do not have our NISBA delegate, Michael Witt. Anything from the county, Bill Harris?
Yes, tomorrow night's meeting has been canceled, so our next meeting will be on June 4th, and we will be holding our elections and dinner.
Excellent. Brings us back to Kathy on policy.
Policy, our next policy meeting will be next Tuesday, the 13th at noon in Mr. Tim's office. Also tomorrow I will be attending a policy workshop that hopefully will get some information with regard to things like smartphones in schools that's just come through the state and having our school board members and then extremely schools.
Thank you. Safety Committee? Nothing at this time. Okay, thank you. That brings us to board member comments. Judy? Nancy?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Ellie. It was so nice to see someone from the arts stand up here, and she spoke and represented herself so well, and I just love that. I just love that. And thank you, Austin. You know, you really do a dynamite job in so many areas, you know. I remember you as a little tight. I tell you, listening to your voice up there, I was like, whoa. But thank you so much for everything that you do. And thank you to all the teachers, principals, and especially the nurse. There you go.
Mark?
Several comments. One, I do want to dovetail, but a little bit different. I believe Ellie is how she pronounced her name.
She said something that really, struck a chord. How she tried for years and submitted things for years, and that it finally happened for her this year. And I think that is just such a tremendous lesson for everyone. That perseverance, continuing to work, not listening to the word no, is amazing. And for her to be going on a full ride to Syracuse University, probably worth close to $300,000 in education, is just absolutely fantastic. Odyssey of the Mind, absolutely. I mean, it is exactly what we need, plus STEM and everything else. It's great. And I just want to wrap up with my 2 questions, because I said I was going to ask them or mention them between now and the end of the year. Parents, what did your kids learn today? And did they finish their homework? That's my challenge to all of you, okay? That's it.
Donnie.
Just to thank you and congratulations to the Odyssey of the Mind teams and all the teachers working with them. And congratulations, I mean, it's award season and scholarships and all that. Congratulations to all the kids that are being honored in all different ways. And then again, thanks to the teachers for allowing that to happen.
Kathy.
I just want to echo congrats to the OM teams and certainly Austin for all of his work, and especially Mrs. Neosi's primary team. I was involved when my kids were in high school, so I know how much time and effort has to go into this, and it's amazing. Congrats certainly to Ellie, it was fantastic with her Golke Award winning. Thanks to Mrs. Durier and her staff for a very welcoming and informative night for the parents of our preschoolers with disabilities transitioning into kindergarten. It was held last week, and she started a fantastic tradition here in Port Jervis. I also want to thank Mr. Lazaro and Mrs. Shields for a wonderful Kuykendall Award ceremony on Friday morning, and congrats to Olivia Britton and her dad, Gemma Nagan. Keep up the good work, ladies. Congrats to our principals, our nurses, and certainly our teachers during their their appreciation weeks. And I hope everyone comes out to see Newsies from the middle school this weekend.
I know 2 weeks ago we had my principal, assistant principal week, then we had principal week, nurses week, teachers week, but I know it's on the calendar, but as far as we're concerned up here, every week is our staff and faculty appreciation. We do appreciate every minute and second you put into what you do for our kids here. And don't go to sleep at night without knowing how much we appreciate what you do. Secondly, I don't know how Austin is going to get bigger for next year, how to do himself for next year, but I was truly impressed at the multicultural night, and I am looking forward to visiting the small world again next year and tasting foods from around the country and learning about their dress and their dances and their cultures. So good luck to you, and I challenge you for bigger and better. We might have to knock a wall out of the gymnasium, but we'll work on it.
Justin, did you hear that?
That'll be all.
What phase is that?
I have a copy of the newsletter. Wants to see it before it hits the mail. You can see it. I'll leave it here.
All right. Brings us to the adjournment portion. Yep, that's item A underneath that. Go ahead, dates to remember.
All right, dates to remember. This is almost 9 pages long, so bear with me there, Mr. Lazaro. Thursday, May 8th, New York State 5th grade science assessment for both of our elementary schools. Friday, May 9th, the ADAC poster ceremony from 9 to 11:45 at the Sugarloaf Performing Arts Center. Also, the New York State 8th grade science assessment at the middle school. May 9th and 10th, Friday and Saturday, the middle school spring drama production of Newsies. It will be Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday, 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. right here at the high school auditorium. Monday, May 12th will be the spring book fair at EME. May 12th and 13th, Monday and Tuesday, New York State 6th through 8th grade math assessments at the middle school. Tuesday, May 13th, New York State 5th grade science assessment at HBE and EME. May 13th, Tuesday night, the EME spring concert will be at 7 p.m. at the high school auditorium. Wednesday, May 14th, Port Jervis High School PTSA meeting in the high school library at 6:30 p.m. Thursday, May 15th, HBE PTA meeting, 3:30 p.m. and the Port Jervis High School band concert in the HBE auditorium at 7 p.m. Is that correct? The high school auditorium. Friday, May 16th, the Middle School Drama Club New York City trip will be departing at 2:30 p.m. and that's the middle school, and they're headed to New York City to see The Outsiders. Friday, the May 16th, is the district's art show, 6 to 8 p.m. in the high school cafeteria. Saturday, May 17th, the high school drama club field trip to see Little Shop of Horrors on Broadway. Sunday, May 18th, the HBE PTA Color Run will be held at HBE at 9 a.m. Tuesday, May 20th, the middle school spring concert, 7 p.m. here at the high school auditorium. Tuesday, May 20th, the budget vote and Board of Education election, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday, May 21st, will be our next Board of Ed meeting, canvas of the vote, right here in the cafeteria at 7 p.m. And that will be all.
Okay. Brings us to the official adjournment of the business meeting. Time is 8:10. Do I have a motion and a second? Is that Judy and Kathy? All in favor? Opposed? Motion